It was kind of like their life in every way. If you had a big house in this life, you should have a big tombstone too. It was not considered ostentatious. You expected to be immortalized.
In the 1800s, you could rest assured you would spend eternity in what was considered a city for the dead, complete with streets and shady trees. And so it was at the Nashville City Cemetery, just a few blocks from downtown. The city's first main cemetery, it's now listed in the National Register of Historic Places. It's tucked in an industrial area beside the railroad. You could drive by and easily miss it, but don't.
Because right here you can see all of Nashville's history from the beginning of the city of Nashville to the American Civil War.
The headliners here are James and Charlotte Robertson, the founders of Nashville. They faced the hardship of the frontier and respected their first neighbors.
Because James Robertson could speak the Cherokee language, and he believed that we could live together with the Indians who were here, who used this as their hunting ground.
Other notables include William Driver. He named the American flag Old Glory. Slave Sally Thomas lies in an unmarked grave.
She just was able to live as though she were free. Lots of people were able to do that. Set up her own business here on Dedrick Street, taking care of fine linen, saved enough money, bought her children free.
Nashville historian Carol Kaplan says this was one of the country's first integrated cemeteries, very unusual for the South.
If you were poor and you were black, you were buried in the pauper black area. If you were poor and white, you were buried in the white. If you were a loved slave of the Grundy family, you were buried at Mr. Grundy's feet, which he was. If you were Jerry Porterfield and had saved Dr. Eliot's life, you were buried next to him.
Legend also lingers here. This is supposedly the grave of a woman who killed herself because she was upset with her fiancé. The tomb is allegedly the same rock she used to sit on by the river. And what lies under the McNary tomb? Some say Confederate soldiers escaped nearby Fort Negley and their Union captors by tunneling down the hill till they reached the tomb. These stories have stood the test of time. The cemetery has not.
Ornate iron fences like this one are becoming a scarcity here because vandals are walking away with them, believe it or not. In one case, one fence like this ended up at a local antiques dealer, but the dealer had a sharp eye and the fence was recovered.
And the trees are taking over. Roots are pushing up dozens of graves. This hackberry has swallowed the stone. The cemetery needs money that's just not in the city's budget, so Busey and others have formed the Nashville City Cemetery Association.
It really is a sort of a lonely place, and yet I think it has so much potential.
Potential no history lesson or museum can match.